Paul. I'd just like to say a few words just on how the book came about. I suppose really and truly it came about because Ciarán and I have been involved with the Green and White magazine since 1996. That's 22 long years. And in 1996, the first issue came out in September. Limerick win the All-Ireland final against Wexford. We were hoping we'd have Ciarán Carey in the front of it holding the McCarthy Cup. It wasn't to be. And every year since then, we have been hoping and praying that things are going to just go one step further. So, one thing we did realise over the years is that nothing happens overnight. And I know that John Kiley wouldn't attempt to say that, well, he should get all the credit. He deserves incredible credit. But it's all part of a jigsaw. And that there are people that coach teams from the time the boys and girls were 4 years of age and bring them along. And just because Limerick won this year doesn't mean that they did everything right, even though they got the really important things right. And just because they lost other years didn't mean they did everything wrong. They did loads of things right too, and they just maybe didn't get the breaks at the right time. So I suppose Ciarán and I felt that having been involved with Cumann and Munster for years, and having seen the effort the teachers put in tiny schools and in big schools all over the city and the county, and the effort they put in to honing the skills and encouraging children. And I know often you go to events and you'd hear county players talking about the mentor they had in primary school. Tom Condon said in his book that Mike Ronayne was his teacher, and he said anytime you went into his room he'd give you a hurl and you could go out and play. And those things made a huge difference altogether. So as I said, we saw it all as a jigsaw, and there were so many parts to the jigsaw. There was a boy at school today and I was asking him, what is he getting for Christmas? And he said, well, I'm giving my dad a 3,000 piece jigsaw, and that's what they will be doing for the holidays. And Limerick's success is a bit like that you had the people at underage, you had the people in the schools, you had the people in the primary schools, you had the people in the post-primary schools, and all of those had a vision. And for instance, the vision in North Sculrish, who had never won a Harty Cup, who went on and won 5 in the last decade. And the vision of people in Scullin, Trinoid and Doon, and the vision of the boys that played in the primary game and that played in the Iron Mini Sevens and that played in their club. And the things that have happened this year, there is enormous credit due to the Limerick County Board, but there is enormous credit due to the county boards that have gone before them, who have sowed the seed. And we often say in primary school, if you don't plant in the springtime, you won't have a harvest time in the autumn. And it's the same with the teams. We interviewed Ava O'Dea and Joe McKenna, and they spoke about how things were so bad that they said, we're going to change things and try and make sure that we never have a disaster like this again. And I know that it's famously chronicled that John Kiley attended a Limerick game where they were beaten by more than 20 points in an All-Ireland semi-final. And he rang the man who's here tonight, Liam Lennon, and he said, Liam, just give me something to do because I want to make sure we're never in this situation again. And from there, it started. So as I said, there are so many pieces to the jigsaw in the primary schools, in the clubs, and the boys that you would hear that would say, the interview that, for instance, Richie McCarthy did, he said his father was always happy if he could look out the window and Richie was hitting the ball against the wall. He was never saying to him, have you your homework done? He knew it was done. But it was the same that Tom Condon said his father worked long hours, but he said whenever he came home, he always had time to go out and to pop around. And that's part of the recipe, but you have then the people with the vision in the secondary school and the team ethic that they imbue in the players. And Niall Moran told how, for instance, that Declan Hannon came up to him at the end of sometime in the 6th year and said, Mr. Moran, can I have a chat? And he said, I've been invited onto the Limerick Senior Hurling panel. What do you think I should do? And Niall said, well, I advised him not to, he was too young. Because he said, I knew he'd be taking my place on the team. So, Niall had a vision there too as well. But there are so many things that work to make it all happen. And as I said, we have looked at, for instance, there's a primary game photo that Jerome O'Connell had in the Limerick Leader last year before the All-Ireland Under-21 final. And it was a photo of the Limerick primary game team from 2009. And all but 2 of them were on the panel that won the All-Ireland minor final, the Under-21 final in 2017. So it shows that there is a pathway and that there is a vision, and the children have a vision, and their parents have a vision, and the teachers have a vision, and the county board officers have a vision. And if you can put all the pieces of the jigsaw together, it will come right in the end. So, like Ciarán, I just want to thank so many people who helped us. You couldn't speak highly enough of the 36 players. Every one of them was willing to meet us and be honest with us. Nobody had an ego, nobody was a prima donna, and they spoke about how much everybody pulled together and how much they all rode in behind the vision John Kiley had. So I want to say that we have a wonderful backing from the Limerick County Board. They're most helpful, supportive of Coming to Munster. We hold our finals in the Gaelic rounds and so on, and they can see the value of in the schools, and we really appreciate that. And also in the Munster Council, the primary game. Munster is the only province that has a primary game where all the children that play get to keep the jersey, socks and shorts. And this year 484 children from Munster played in the primary game. So that shows massive commitment, and it is paying off. So as I said, there were so many people helped. There's a man down there at the back, Tom Allen, and Tom came on board on Monday as marketing, transport, operations, logistics manager, and he hired a van and he's been driving around to shops delivering and problem solving and troubleshooting. So I suppose to go back to the very start, in 1996, the very first green and white, the plan was that Ciarán Carey would be in the front of it with the McCarthy Cup, and he wasn't. There were lots and lots of close shaves and near misses and disappointments. But finally, in 2018, at last, Limerick's long wait is over. So I hope you all enjoyed the book, and I want to thank you all for coming here tonight.